Good afternoon. I'm Rob Johnson, CEO of the Billiard Congress of America. I want to again start by wishing you and your families, good health during this pandemic. And while I wish we were all in Las Vegas right now, dealing with our hangovers after the first night's industry social, that's not possible. So I'm sitting in my office talking to you through a camera, and that's the life that we live right now. And so I hope that you enjoy the Business of Billiard webinar series presented by Legacy Billiards and participate in our virtual expo. We appreciate you taking the time to do this in these unusual times. Please enjoy today's webinar and make sure to visit our participating exhibitors' virtual web pages to learn more about their products and pricing specials. I also want to let you know that the activity has been amazing during this virtual expo. We've had more than 600 registrations. 1,350 messages have been exchanged between attendees, exhibitors, and the speakers, and we've had more than 71% of you download the app. So what we want you to do is to continue to engage in the community section of this event. This is a small industry, we're a small community, and the more we can help each other out, the better. Before we get started, I'd like to go over a couple housekeeping items. You will be on mute throughout the presentation. If you would like to ask a question, type it into the question box in your chat area at any time. And a quick reminder, the chat area looks like a little comic strip bubble above a comic character's head. If you type your question in that area, Lynn, our seminar speaker, will answer your questions at the end of her seminar. We also want you to know we are recording this session and it will be posted on the BCA virtual website shortly. I'd now like to introduce today's speaker, Lynn Switnowski. Lynn is a regular seminar presenter for the Billiard Congress of America and brings with her more than 20 years of business experience working in management roles with Fortune 500 companies, including Liz Claiborne, Aramark, and Reebok. Today, she'll be discussing how pool rooms can stay relevant while their room is closed or operating under significant challenges. Whether you're a pool room operator or in a different category in our industry, today's content will be useful for all of us as we're all in a small community together, and it's going to take all of us working together to deal with these difficult times. Before we get started, I'd like to present you a brief message from our webinar series sponsor, Legacy Billiards. Thank you.
$98.6. We realize in today's world, this number has taken on a more important meaning, like the ideal body temperature of a person walking into your store. However, it has a different meaning for Legacy Billiards. 98.6 is the percentage of in-stock product Legacy Billiards has available for our dealers for the last 18 months. What does this mean for you? It means your salespeople can confidently sell Legacy brand products and know they will be available for immediate fulfillment. After all, it's tough to make a sale when your customer hears they have to wait 8 to 12 weeks to get their products. As a Legacy dealer, you have access to the widest variety of in-stock products and largest selection of in-stock finishes in the game room industry.
Hello, I'm Chris Gould, President of Legacy Billiards. I invite you to contact us today to learn more about our BCA specials and 2020 new products, including a new 9-foot rustic Baron shuffleboard, new amazingly priced 7 and 8-foot Baron billiard tables, and an outdoor shuffleboard table called the Emery that will blow you away.
Lynn, you're on.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thanks for being here. Rob, thanks for that great introduction. I have to say, today is Thursday, and we've had a great week talking to all you billiard retailers, and now we get to talk specifically to the pool room owners in the group. We hope you've had a good show, and I hope you have had a chance to talk to everybody that's done virtual exhibits for you. I am excited today to talk to you about, obviously, what's going on with your industry and what I call how to do business when the front door is locked or may be locked. And obviously in this time of COVID, the challenges that have been occurring within the pool room community, how you can't reach out to your customers. And I'd like to say this, and I just want to make sure that you hear me say this, and look, I'm specifically putting my face on the camera so that you can all hear me and see me like we were together at the trade show in Las Vegas. It is a difficult time. I understand that. I am a retail consultant. Not only do I work with the billiards industry, I work with a lot of retail stores, and there's been a lot of different responses to what's been going on. States opening, states closing, let me back up, at different rates, states opening at different rates, consumers responding, consumers not responding, and where does your pool room business fit in there? So what I want to do is talk to you today. Essentially, I want to talk to you about your pool room community, and I want to make sure that we start there. I think you know that you run a business. I mean, I should say, of course, you know you run a business, but what you really are is the steward of a community of pool enthusiasts, and you provide respite, entertainment, a place for them to go, camaraderie, place to see their friends. But do you see your business as a community? Or do you just see it as opening the door, cash register, ordering food, ordering supplies, and moving on? That is the first paradigm shift that I want you to sit in this space today and really understand. You are the organizer of a community of people who love your pool room, who maybe love you personally, who love each other, who want to be together, who are frustrated that they're not together. So during this session, what I want to present to you is ways that you can either physically be together that might be different, or frankly, to showcase that while you can't be together, you'd still like to be and you're part of a community. So with that in mind, I want to go through some thoughts on how we're going to get that done and what you can do to get that to happen. Let me just do this for a second. There we go. Let me back up for a second here. Apologize. There we go. So let me start with what a difference the world makes, right? And do any of you know where this is? I should have taken a poll and see if you knew where this was. If you like Disney and you like Florida, this is Disney World. When have you ever seen the streets of Main Street Disney World empty, except in the middle of a pandemic? And that's what's happened. You had a bustling business, the doors were open, people were coming. It was the middle of the winter for some of you, and it was your busy season. You had leagues going on, you had people coming in. It was a great place to hide from the cold weather, and then boom, it was gone. And it was shut off, and the doors were closed by nothing that you did, right? The world has changed dramatically in a very short time. And when the world changes dramatically, the real question is, how do you respond? And I am not going to sugarcoat this. I really, and I'm not looking to place blame. We are here to talk about energy. But I guess the question you have to ask yourself is, how did your business respond? Are you here to get even more ideas? Don't you worry, I got a lot of them for you. But if you're here saying, woe is me, I want you to have the energy. I want you to come with an open mind. I want you to say, what do I need to do? And understand that it might be different. It's going to be new. Change is hard. And the question is, are you ready to do it? So lots of ideas, and we're going to start with ways that I believe you can help navigate during this challenging time. And again, for your business, let's talk about what that looks like. And the first thing I want to say, we are in a period now of most states, and again, I don't know every state and maybe every country that is on this call here today, but what I want to do is talk about framework. Where is your state on opening? Where is your state on, nerve-wracking? I happen to be talking to you today from Maine, and Maine numbers are very good. They've been going down. And so we're in this little Northeast bubble, and everyone is wearing a mask and everybody is behaving, and we're not picking up new cases in the county that I'm in. On the other hand, some of you are sitting in Texas, in Florida, in California, in Georgia, in Washington State, wherever you are around the country. Each state, each county is going through a different situation. So that's where you need to start, with a pulse on what is going on in your community. And again, the reason is, when I say community here, it's the larger town, it's the space that you sit in. Why? Because the people who go to your pool business are in that state of mind. They're nervous, they're scared, they're thinking about their kids going to school. Is it going to be safe? They're thinking about their own businesses. Are they going to be able to survive? Your job is to understand and interpret their emotions, and then be able to be a place where they can go to so that they can communicate honestly and talk about that. So what do you need to do right now? And if you're not sure, like I say here, monitor your social media, monitor your audience to see what they're talking about. Are they complaining? Are they nervous? Are they scared? Right? What are the main topics they're talking about? Once you understand what phase they're in, then you can communicate where they are. If they're scared, you can talk about all the things that your business is doing to keep them safe. If they're ready to sort of move on and have a little bit of, fun and entertainment, you can do cartoons, you can make jokes, albeit talk about things not being normal, but understanding that your tone can be lighter. So the key is assessment of where you are on a regular basis so that you can communicate to your customers. As I like to say, do your messages feel right? If you're in a place that's going through an outbreak and you just completely talk about cartoons and jokes and make laughter and something dramatic happened and someone near and dear to the town, is sick in the hospital or, God forbid, passed away, that's tone deaf, right? That's too much for people. So how do you have empathy? How do you have sympathy? How do you have a frame of reference? I know you may not feel like that's your job as a pool room owner, but that's where you are. You are a community leader, and therefore here in this role, it's figure out the pulse and where people are so that you can communicate with them, where they are. As I like to say, lead with empathy and not with fear. And that is, we're in this together. So the shared experience that you're feeling, the nervous, the frustration as you as the pool room owner, I can't tell you how many urging I've given to my clients to say, go on your social media, tape a video, say that you're thinking about everybody. You don't have to look further than the beginning of this session. Rob started out with, we're in this together, right? I'm thinking about, we at the BCA are thinking about you and your families and understanding that, every day is a new adventure, if you will, or a new, concern. And therefore, he wanted, on behalf of the BCA to let you know that we're all in this together. Take that and model it for your business. You as the leader, the manager, the owner, go out in front of the public with either a video, with a note that says, we're in this together. You know what I mean? I want you to know we're going to be here the whole time. And here's the things we're doing to keep you all safe and to hopefully maybe give you a chance to have a little bit of a respite from what else is going on in the world. So lead with empathy, not with fear. Understand the place they're in. And when I say show your best side, right? The reason people, and I call you a leader here. Yes, you're the owner of your business, but you are a leader. You're the one that's going to drive the conversation, right? Whether it's things that are happening, safety protocols that you're taking, new activities that you're offering, if you're in the food, if you have a food component, new menus that you're offering, new ways of doing business, new ways to interact with the business. So as a leader and as the director of your business on your marketing front, and again, much of this, what we're going to talk about, if you haven't had a chance, we did some great sessions earlier this week, one on Monday and one on yesterday. They are in the app. You can download them, but they are talking specifically about marketing and how do you market in the time of COVID, not just for pool room. We're going to talk a little bit about that today, but it's a little bit deeper dive on what do you need to say, what kind of messages, how do you do that, how do you specifically use Instagram to sell? How do you use Facebook to sell? And again, what kind of messages can you use? So please make sure those are great and relevant for your pool room as well. So I just want to mention one other thing. We talked about showing genuine concern and trying to make sure that you are focused on making people as best as you can. Not that you're responsible for people's happiness, but you have the ability to make people smile. And I appreciate some days you don't see yourself that way, but you are. You are a source of bright spot. Think about what you offer people, the refuge of your space, your location, playing billiards with their friends, socializing around food and bar. It's absolutely, you provide an environment that is fun and that is a chance to get away. whether it's from the kids, whether it's to be around friends, to come together. So how do you remember that so that you can keep that moving forward? I wanted to make sure that you see this, and I appreciate that I might be banging you over the head with this, but you sell happiness. You offer your customers entertainment, and you can show them how to feel joy again. And by the way, you can't change the world. COVID is still going on. There's bad things in the world going on every day. But for the time that people are there, you get to be a distraction. How do you create a space? How do you create a mood that provides a distraction? And I'm giving you a formula. And again, I believe by this point, at least in the US, most of you are in some way open again. If you're not, you can still showcase entertainment, joy, happiness by reminding people of what did go on in your location, what will go on in your location again. And then we're going to talk about some ways that even if the doors are closed, maybe there's other ways that you can be around people. So take this slide, put it up on your bulletin board, put it in the car while you're driving and think about it. How do you communicate the different ways that your pool room sells happiness, offers customers entertainment? And then the key, and we're going to talk about it again and again and again, you have to take that from your brain, from your manager's brain, from everyone who works with you and for you, and communicate that on marketing channels. And most of the easy way to do that now is on social media. So on your Facebook page, on your Instagram page, maybe if you have Twitter, maybe if you have a YouTube channel. How do you communicate these things, programs that you have, opportunities for your customers to engage online on your social media? It is a powerful connection. All right, so now I want to go through and I want to highlight some things here. And if you think of it, if you're okay for what I call indoor play, again, mindset, customers nervous, don't know if I want to go out into closed spaces, right? How do you, as the leader, as the owner, tell your community that it is safe to come play at your pool room? Space tables more. And not just space them and tell people, take a video. Showcase that maybe 6 feet apart is the way to go. We've decided to put things 10 feet apart. Again, I mentioned I'm up here in Maine, and one of the yoga studios up here took it outside, and she said 6 feet didn't feel, even though it was outside, 6 feet didn't feel like enough for her. So people are 10 feet apart, right? And I know that that's, maybe losing, a table, but if you could get people to feel better about their time with you and safer, that's going to get them back again and again, right? So space tables may be more than necessary, and show a video, tell people that you're doing it again and again. Put up physical distancing signs in the store, remind people about, the cleaning protocols that you're going through. Listen, if you want to, install a HEPA filter, I know those are not cheap. I'm not throwing it out there willy-nilly without the understanding. But if you already have one, if you have an air filtration system, you need to communicate that. Tell your customers what you're doing to make it safe. Another option, we'll talk about appointment scheduling in a minute, but if you want to schedule, have somebody to come in for an hour, book it online, have them come in, and maybe it's 50 or 55 minutes so that you have time to clean in between to make people feel even safer. And I say get certified. And that is the same thing I would tell you if you won the Best of award. You're the best pool room in your state, in the county. You're a best of business in your town. Anytime that you can get certification and from somebody else that says you have done something, right? It's you not saying, hey, I know I'm really doing a good job here. So if there's a protocol in the state of Maine, there happens to be a protocol for retail businesses that if you do this step and this step, watch a video, post the signage, commit to doing these things, using these types of chemicals, you can get a certification, a COVID certification. And many retailers are putting it up in their store, just like they won a Best of award. COVID certification is a benchmark that says, we have done what is required to keep you, our community, safe. It is all about your community. Yes, you don't want any issues within your employees, but that's what you say. That's exactly how you talk to your customers, hopefully in a video, hopefully online, that says, want you to know, here's what we're doing to keep our employees and to keep you safe as our customers. We miss you. We really want to see you again. We can't wait for you to be back in our space. And in order to do that, we've taken some protocols and we've taken them seriously, and we've gotten certified, we've gotten air filtration, blah, blah, blah. All these things that you've done. But it is that's why I'm here. It is a direct appeal for you to say, we've done what we needed to do because we care about you. Everything that we're doing is to keep our community safe. So that's how you have to think about it. Again, your community, it's about them, it's about your employees. Obviously, it's about you. So now let's talk about other things that you can do, right? This happens to be an outdoor restaurant, and I appreciate that it's in Florida, but it is summer. Have any of you moved your locations outside? What do you do with that parking lot when it's not full inside? Do you set up a tent? Do you have indoor-outdoor play going on, in the parking lot? How can you make it look interesting? Obviously, this is a tent. This happens to be a restaurant, but look how much more interesting it is with some simple plants, with a small picket fence around it. Frankly, you can rent, most of these things. In some towns, they are allowing you to rent parking spaces that you can, put things up in. And everything about moving a table outside takes a lot of time. I know that there are some requirements, but again, even if it's one table with a tent that causes people to look when they go by, that has great lighting, maybe it has signage on, that gives you a chance to communicate with your customers, that shows people safely playing pool outside. And frankly, can you carry that if you're in a warm environment? Can you carry that through the fall? It is not typical. It definitely takes work. Everything that I'm going to talk to you today takes work, but you're going to have to decide if you want to put in the time or if you're just going to ride it out. I have heard from some of you who we've been bantering this week on the show app and talking about all these really interesting ways that they're making their business go, including some things moving outside. And it's a tale of two businesses. So you get to decide because you're the owner of your business, but do you want to have fun? And frankly, possibly meet even more people who are now playing, pool, billiards, because they're looking for something to do. If you don't have or don't want, to set up outside, what about what I call a pop-up pool room? Pop-up retail is really big. I hate to say this, but the schools aren't being used right now. Is there some place that you could go that has a huge facility in a space that is got, good airflow, that is much bigger than maybe yours is, where you could set up tables, where maybe you could do a mobile, if you have food? What's the crux of your business? Is it mostly billiards? Then it may be, entertaining a pop-up room. If it's billiards and food combo, or if food's more important, this may not be as critical to your business. So think about what drives revenue for your business, and then look at how you need to possibly shift. Pivot is the new COVID word. Your business, whether it's temporarily or frankly, in terms of, if you listen to sort of the pundits, if we get through this wave and there's another wave, some people are saying this is the new normal for the next 6 to 12 months. So potentially the investment that you make, the customers that you meet, the business that you do will be able to be not only profitable, but sustain more customers on the other side. That's the vote you get to decide. What do you want to do to drive and support your billiard room? Another really great tool that I would highly recommend you think about is setting up appointments. If you have an indoor space, if you have outdoor space, whatever you have, you can set up software via your social media pages, via your website, where people can schedule appointments. Couple of things to note here. If you are open and have a location that has limited tables and somebody wants to book something and doesn't show up, okay, you can set up a $10 fee, right? So here we'll take a deposit in advance. If they don't show up, they lose the $10. That time is money to you. Then you can also schedule people to come in and out on a more regular basis. And there's also this marketing factor, which is fear of missing out. Now your Facebook post on a Friday for, Friday night or Saturday is you only have X amount of slots left. There's only 3 tables left for the whole night, or 6 tables, whatever you want to say it. But that fear of missing out is real, and it creates a sense of urgency, like, oh my God, I don't want to wait. I got to book it now so that I can make sure that I have a place to go later. So think about appointment setting software is really relatively inexpensive and could provide you with a big boon. Some of my retail businesses have decided that appointments are working so well that they're actually going to keep it as a model for their business going forward. Think about how people want to know. I don't have to look beyond the Apple, Genius Bar. If you have an iPhone or a Mac, if you have a problem with it or you want to learn something, you can schedule an appointment online to go in and talk to somebody. And because that store is always busy, you book it online with your specialist. You show up at 11 o'clock, which is when your appointment is, and boom, they're waiting for you. Sit down. They know what you're going to talk about. Imagine your billiard, pool room doing exactly the same. Your table, you got table 2 at 9 p.m. Friday night. You've got it for an hour. You've got it for 2 hours, whatever it is. You or your friend has it for an hour, and it makes it a logical transition. I'm going to throw out some other ideas here, and again, some of you are going to be like, not for me. That's fine. But the more ideas that you have, the more conversations that you have, the more ideas that you banter about, I think the better off your business can be. And again, deciding how many you want to adopt and what's right for you, that's the pick and choose. So some of these models, this is a one-on-one live stream. Rob and I were bantering before this session about some online games that are going on with the ghost ball and how many shots you can hit. Those are all ways, as he used the word community, I'm using the word community. It's all about engaging a community. Why do people come to you? They have a sense of belonging. They have a shared passion in billiards. Your job as the community leader is to keep that passion going and offer different ways to do that, right? So it's in the pool room, it's out of the pool room, but it's keeping that passion going. Can you video stream lessons? I threw up a video in a session the other day, and it was a piano teacher giving Zoom lessons. And I want to make sure that you get the analogy there. Piano is one-on-one. It's you as a teacher teaching me as a student over my hands, right? I don't play piano, but I used to, like, over my hands and getting the piano, getting the grip right, getting the fingering right. Isn't that what you do? And it's the same thing with your pull shots. How do you hold a cue? What's the angle? So how can you leverage your experience, maybe as a teacher, people in your, at your pool room that teach people, how do you move that online? Set it up. We are in a virtual situation right now. We're having this dialogue. It's going to be tape recorded for a long time, so you can watch it again and again. Same thing goes with a Zoom lesson. Pay for a lesson. You get the recording, your student gets a recording, I should say. They can go back and practice and look at it again and again. They come back next week, you see the improvement, you move on, you talk about new things. You set up a 4-week series of lessons, you do individual lessons, you do group lessons. You can have a 50-person Zoom meeting, get lessons from everybody chime in, practice the same thing, come back the next week. Again, thinking out of the box, creative approaches to keeping your community engaged. Zoom room playtime. Essentially setting up what I call an open Zoom room. Everybody can log in. I'm at home, you're in the pool room, somebody else is at their house playing billiards, playing darts, playing another game. There, it's just about people being with people. That Bob can see Fred's face online, that Sheila can see Bob's face. They can talk to each other through Zoom, even though they can't be together in the same space. Community, being together, having a good time, smiling. That's half the battle. Live stream competitions. If there's other places in the world where things are going on, live stream a competition. Even if you have to buy the feed, set it up through your computer, do it on Zoom, and have your community watch what's going on. Again, another way for you to be together. Gaming contests, I mentioned that earlier. Now I want to throw out some other ideas. Do you have music? Some of you may have, you know, some open mic nights. Some of you might have bands, and maybe you're a little bit more on the, you know, food and entertainment side. Can you live stream a concert from your location? Can you live stream a concert? I'm a huge country music fan. There's lots of free concerts now going on. Can you log and do a live stream of something that you think your community would like? Again, your pool room community would like. Again, a shared experience. And again, look at the bottom here. Everything I'm talking about, if you decide to add one of these things, if you decide to add 10 of these things, communicate to your customers when you add new things. It's the only way they're going to know. Communicate 5 to 7 times before they get the message. So for those of you that have a big food and liquor business, again, this is by state, so I am not telling you to do something illegal. I'm telling you to check what's able in your state. But here is the broad range of things. Maybe you thought of some, maybe some of them are new. I was in Florida for 3 months. We got stuck, but I was in Florida for March, April, and May, and Florida closed late and opened early, but while they were closed, they had drive-through for curbside pickup. So people came, they called, they stood in line, they picked up their food and drove away. So it was low contact, and you know, people got food. The other thing people did is they set up ordering online. Toast, T-O-A-S-T, is a great Toast tab. That's a really easy. You can upload pictures of your food. People can order, and then you can let them know when it's ready to be picked up. In a lot of states, you can sell go-to beverages, so to-go beverages with food orders. That's a huge opportunity. So if you have a to-go order, beverages to go with that. Have you taken advantage of that opportunity? I was a restaurant in Florida when I was there, set up to go, and what they did is they had a park across the street, and they went to the town and said, hey, can we, you know, let our customers sit in the park with a beverage? And the park was trying to keep people outside, and they said, sure. So here you go. You walked from the restaurant across the street to the park, and you got to sit outside. Now take it to your place. Can you set up, even though they're not sitting inside, that's the key, can you set up tables and chairs, picnic tables on the outside in a tented area at a park with food and to-go beverages, where, again, you can make some revenue. Create daily food specials that are fun, unique, and well-priced. A lot of different avenues to do this. Yes, you have a menu, but can you simplify your menu? I know it's about food costs, so really simplify your menu to the point of tell your people to check your social media pages every single day. You're gonna have days of the week. Thursday here is burger and brew night. Wednesday is wing night. Friday is fish fry Friday. Sundays is a brunch. Why? You can make the food in advance. You can keep your food costs focused. You can keep your food ordering focused so that there's low waste. And you get people to have a good time because they know what they're going to get. Can you create an outdoor dining space? Again, I mentioned it to you. So not to sit and have a restaurant, but just, hey, take your takeout order, and there happen to be chairs here. Could be the parking lot, right? Could be a couple of parking spots in town. Do any of your towns have in town what I call outdoor dining programs? All along the East Coast, there are towns that have closed off Main Street certain nights of the week for restaurants. Can you participate in that? Could you put up, you know, one pool table and a few tables to sell food, and you participate in that outdoor dining program? Can you use your parking lot as a drive-through movie space and serve food? And I'm dating myself here, but you remember the drive-through when the A&W drive-through, when people, you know, brought you the order on, some of them brought roller skates. But can you set up a drive-through? I'm in a small town in Maine, and I went up there. This local town across the way is got drive-through. They set up a movie screen, And I went and asked them how much it was, and they rented it for the summer. There's a movie every single week, and I think it cost them, they said $180 every time they showed it, which seemed like a good deal. You know, they were just trying to do it for community building. But if you were to leverage the cost, if you were to find out if it's available, how much food could you serve, how entertained could you make your community? Could you set up one table and have somebody come in and do trick shots? Again, keeping people engaged, keeping them entertained within the social distancing guidelines, still wearing a mask, still feeling good, all around your business. That's the key here. Everything I'm talking about is centered around your business, being the hub, making people feel good. So, again, lots of different ideas if you serve food and liquor. So let's, other ways. Some of these may be too far out there for you, but you know, this happens to be a truck bed that's set up as a pool table. So it's unique, it's fun. Could you dress up something just to make it look like fun? Could you deliver your food in a bicycle cart or on a food truck? Could you partner with another business, you know, who has a food truck or who has a delivery service and share the expenses of that? Thinking out of the box is the key. So now I want to talk to you about, right, these are all these different ideas to do more business, to keep your doors open, to keep your community engaged. I keep repeating, I'll do it here again. You have to communicate that message to people again and again. It takes 5 to 7 times for the message to sink in. Everything that I just talked about, if you haven't decided to engage in any of those ideas, they would all be brand new. You would need to tell people 5 to 7 times that you had a daily food special. You would need to tell people 5 to 7 times that you are setting outdoor tent up. And while you're like, but it's right on Main Street, everybody can see it. Not everybody's driving by. You need to get them to engage. You need to get your followers on social media to tell their friends about it. So you want to showcase what I call the shared experiences, right? And this happens to be a Zoom room pool call that I was talking about, teaching a video lesson. So if you do this already, line up this photo and take it, line up this video and showcase to your audience, your fans and followers, how you're doing things differently, how you have a video lesson going on at 2 p.m. every day they can log on. I saw one of the pool rooms who I always see at the show here, you know, just sets up a Facebook Live 1 hour a day so everybody can log in and see what's going on. Make sure that when you're doing marketing, to make it pay off, use what I'm calling a call to action. Ask somebody to do something. Share this with your friend. Like this post and you're entered to win. Come see us this Friday from 5 to 8 for Fish Fry Friday. Order your fish order by 5 p.m. and we'll deliver it to you for free. Everything you're talking about, every community activity, schedule an appointment and you'll be entered to, you know, schedule an hour-long play session and you'll be entered to win a free hour. Everybody who books online this week will be entered to win a $25 gift card of pool time. Those are calls to action. Do this because you've seen this post. Other things that you can market about, right? How-tos. We are in the kings and queens of how-to, right? How to play billiards, trick shots, angles, things like that. How to pour the perfect drink. Whatever your how-to is, teach your community how to do something. Special announcements, brand new, coming this week, starting next week, going to be doing this, changing our hours, ... Can be fun too, but everything is a message. So I've tried to give you as many ways to share messages. Another way, share behind the scenes. What does it take? A perfect behind the scenes now. While it's not what I would call sexy, it's how do we clean? Just want you to know, we're not just trying, we are keeping you all safe. Here is our cleaning protocol. I want to give you an inside look at our cleaning protocol. Here is us refelting a table. Here is our food order coming in for the fish fry on Friday. Here is our pool teacher setting up for a video lesson. What that gives people is a feeling of being there in the space with all of you and giving them inside information. And if you really want a great marketing tool, that fear of missing out, that's why I'm talking about time-sensitive offers. Do this now before it expires. If you've all heard of things like WhatsApp, which is a messaging service, they go, Snapchat, these chats go away after a minute. It was totally created on this time sensitivity, must watch it now before it runs away, you know, before it expires. So do the same thing, create a time sensitive offer. And last, I just want to make sure you understand there's lots of marketing that you can do. Obviously, lots of changes that you can make to your business that we talked about, but there's also ways that you can market your market and sell, if you will, your changes online. And I talked this week a couple times. I just want to make sure that this group hears me say it. You can sell on social media. You can set up a Facebook shop. You don't have to have an online website to sell. You can use social media to sell. And that could be I'm selling a gift card. That could be I'm selling an hour of time, right? And looking, that could be I'm buying a lesson. That can be I'm buying dinner. So you can use a Facebook shop to set up anything you want, any kinds of product you want, any kinds of services that you want directly through your Facebook page, which you could then link through your Instagram page. And you do not need an e-commerce website to do that, right? So while all these things definitely require marketing, I want to make sure you understand that they are easy enough to do. You have to be committed to it. If you need help, obviously, people like me or other people along the way, I just want you to know that there are people to help you. It does take time and energy. I can't make that go away, but I can get you to understand that it will make a difference for your billiard business. So sorry that I went a couple minutes over, but Mike, I'm gonna turn it over to you. We've been talking all week long. Do we have any questions today?
Yeah, do we want to take that that poll?
Oh gosh, you're right, I do. Thank you so much. And I made a note. See, I just want to show you all. There's my note that says run the poll. Yeah, let me do this. Those of you that are on the call, I've been talking a lot today about marketing and different ways for you to communicate. Why don't we see where you are in the current model, and then we can see how far you either have to go or how much better you are than I imagined. So Mike, why don't you go ahead and throw out the poll and just answer this question here. So the poll is, how many different ways can your customers currently engage with your business? And by that, I mean walking in the front door, finding you on social media, finding you on your website, finding you on social media, Facebook, social media, Instagram, social media, Snapchat, WhatsApp. And again, how many different ways do you currently communicate, engage with your, when I say engage, communicate, how many different ways can your customers find you? Oh, look at you. We got, what do we think about 10 seconds left, 15, just quickly vote now. We got it really good. I'm very proud of this audience. Awesome. So far, we're at 100%, 3 to 5 different ways. So that's a website. That's 1 to 2 there. That's okay though. We're getting better. You guys are here taking the class. Okay, why don't we go ahead and publish? The final results are. So it looks like 17% have 1 to 2 different ways, and 83% have 3 to 5 ways. That's fantastic. Again, you know, the +6 ways. So if I was to say to you, social media, you got Facebook, you got Instagram, you got Pinterest, you got Twitter, you got WhatsApp, you've got Snapchat, you've got Facebook Messenger. That's 7 right there. That's all on social media. Did I say YouTube? That might be 8. Then you have text. Then you've got text messaging. You've got email. You've got calls. You've got walking in the front door. So lots of different ways to communicate. So all of you, I want you to get to 6+ because there's more than 6 ways. And I just want you to remind you, it is not about you. It's about your customers and your community and how they want to engage with you. That's the key. So I'm glad we have some work to do, but I'm glad we're far along the way, I should say. We still got some opportunities to make more connections with our customers and community. So let's see, what do we got, Mike?
We have a few questions. So I'm gonna
Great.
again put them in the chat area, but I'm also gonna read them off. First one is to do outdoor billiards, would you probably need high quality outdoor pool tables? Any suggestions on that?
I want to say this. From an expertise perspective, you could be in humid weather, you could be in completely dry weather. So I think you have to think about your environment. I also want to say you're at a trade show and maybe you don't sell outdoor billiard tables. Maybe there's a way that you can communicate with somebody at this trade show before you leave for the day today, go visit them and work out a way that you could consign, look to add those to your assortment. Work on some kind of special and you'll promote their tables. They can, offer you some placement and maybe some special pricing. So maybe it could be a win-win for both of you. And it may be something that's a convertible. It may be that it's easy enough in your neighborhood because you're not humid, that it could be just a wood, doesn't have to be a concrete outdoor table. So each of you have different environments, the kind of tables you want to put outside. Maybe you move shuffleboard outside. Maybe you move different games outside. Maybe you move darts outside. Maybe you move, what do you call it? Foosball. If you have other games, maybe you sell ping pong or you have ping pong inside your location. So to me, it's billiards for sure if you can, but it's also getting the activity from inside your pool room, which is now limited, to moving it outside. And if the environment is about, community and maybe there's some, music. I mean, I'm not telling you that your town will allow you to do that, but maybe there's ways that you can interpret your space outside for a little bit and work with your town, like I said, but to make it a little bit more efficient.
Yeah, someone else just mentioned on here to look at R&R outdoor billiards virtual page.
There you go.
Posted that in the chat area.
Thank you.
Yeah, we've got a couple others. Again, if you have questions, please type it in the question box and we'll be able to get to it. So I'll put it in the chat area here. Can we grill outside and serve our customers outside? How do we handle condiments and drinks outside?
So in my prior life, I was a restaurateur. All kidding aside, I think you have to do what works for you. So I have seen businesses shuttle back and forth. I was mentioning to you these towns that have outdoor spaces set up, and sometimes they're not close. So they put the food in a heating element and transfer it down and then, serve it outside. Some people have bought, you could go to Costco, get your Cisco order and buy individual condiments, right? Individual is sort of the way to go now. So if you were working on the inside, a lot of people have had to take away bottles of ketchup and mustard. So individual condiments are definitely, I'm seeing them all over the place this summer. So that would be perfect for when you move outside. In terms of grilling and what you want to do, I think that's the fun of it. And if you can't do, everyday grilling, what you could do is a community event for your users of your pool room as a VIP barbecue. And therefore you're not looking to charge them, you're just doing an event. So you have to be creative and say, what's my goal here? Obviously, I want to drive sales and revenue. I want to keep people engaged. I want to keep them coming back. So the logistics of what you can do in your town, you definitely need to work on. But the idea, that's why the simpler piece of it is better. I'm going to do burgers, I'm going to do hot dogs on Mondays, and I'm going to have a grill outside, and that's what I'm going to do on Mondays. On Wednesdays, I'm going to do potluck, pulled pork. So I can make it all in advance, and all I have to do is put the sandwiches together and, put it outside. And instead of serving it with fries, I'm going to serve it with chips to keep it simple. But I still want to have the ability to serve alcohol, right? So that I can make some money on that. On Fridays, I'm going to do fish fry. If you're not sure how it's going to go off, that's why communicating with your customers, getting them on social media, talking to them every day, pushing them to, buy in advance, order online in advance. We only have 100 servings. Don't run out. We'll deliver it to you if you have dinner for 4 or more people. Come up with interesting ways to hook them, that you have them confirmed. Then you know what to buy. Then you know how much to spend. And then you tell them, we're open between 5 and 8. This is when we're doing it. We have 100 orders. When it's gone, it's gone. So that's that fear of missing out piece. I'm
Thanks.
happy to talk to whoever that was more about it, but I really want you all to get the sense of it's about unique experiences around your community, and then you have to deal with what you're capable of in your neighborhood.
Thanks, Lynn. That's a great point. Every time you mention fish fry, all I can think of is Wisconsin whenever I go there. That's a big Friday night thing, is a fish fry.
It is. And it's summer and it's fun, and it's, you could have a big watermelon barbecue. But again, you have to think about food in the perspective of what do people want for the summer? Like, we're here in Maine and everybody now has lobster boils, and essentially it's a lobster boil for one. So instead of the big pot being sprayed across the table, everybody gets their own. But it's still it's weird because we usually share, but this year we're having to have our own. And guess what? I'm still having a lobster boil, and I still want to be there in that space with the people and have that Maine lobster experience. That's really what you're creating, is you're making the link between the experiences that people had at your location before, what you offered them, and then a link to here's how we do it now. And by the way, maybe for a long time to come.
Yep. Perfect. I have another question here, and I kind of know the answer to this. We got this on Monday, but if you're doing no social media, where should we begin? And then second part of that question is, what should the first post be?
Okay, so where should we begin? I feel like Mike, I should put you on the spot. Do you remember the answer from Monday?
It was Facebook.
Yeah, it was Facebook because there's billions of people there. It was also Instagram. But let me say this caveat. If you're going to go on Instagram, you must commit to doing at least 50% of your posts in video. Instagram has become a photo and a video site. And let me be clear, it works really, really well, but you got to be able to do video. And that could be from this phone. It doesn't have to be a fancy video. So Facebook and Instagram for sure. Your first post, all kidding aside, we're here. It's been forever. Sorry we're late to the party. We're here now. Tell your friends. And then another day from now, haha, thought it was a joke. We're still here. We're going to be here. We're going to talk to you. We're going to give away, prizes and free pool, and we're going to give away free food and beverage. We want you to tell all your friends. First thing we're going to do is have a contest. Share this with 10 people, get them to like our page, and you're entered to win a $50 gift certificate, a $100 gift certificate. Why so much money? You need followers fast. You need eyes on the prize to be able to tell people all those messages we just talked about. So you got to up the ante real quick. People are watching social media much more than ever before, so it's crowded. So you have to get in there, and you have to be important, and you have to be there every day. Got it? You guys ready? I can see all the thumbs up going up. I can see you're ready.
Yes, perfect. Let's see. All right, someone was asking about R&R. I believe they're located in the exhibit hall of the web page for the event. So look at the virtual web page and you should be able to find R&R pretty easily. I'm not showing any other questions, so okay. I want to thank you, Lynn, for another great.
Absolutely. I'm glad to be here, and I just want you all to know I'm around. You know how to get in touch with me, and I want you all to be really successful and have fun. And remember, you're part of a community that's really, really entrenched. People love what you do. People love what you have to do. So now the key is to get out there and tell them what you're doing now. Thanks, Rob.
Lynn, thank you. You bring a lot of energy to this. So again, as you guys know, Lynn's done a ton in our industry. She knows our industry. She knows her stuff. She knows her marketing. She mentioned a lot of stuff that was brought up yesterday during the marketing session. So if you have not seen yesterday's session, we'll have that posted by the end of the day today. Please watch it. And a lot of the tips and a lot of the questions that came up today in the conversation about social media, you'll see in yesterday's presentation. Again, remember to visit the exhibitor virtual profiles, watch their videos, take advantage of those specials. Again, a special thank you to Legacy Billiards for sponsoring the webinar series, and thank you to GLD Products for sponsoring the entire virtual expo. So thank you again to Legacy and GLD. Quick reminder that these presentations are being posted on the virtual website for at least the next week, so you can take a look at it, your employees can take a look at it, and give everybody a chance to take a look at them and visit our exhibitor virtual pages. So again, thank you for participating in today's virtual webinar, and we'll see you later. And again, the R&R Billiards question, if you look on the app or you look on the computer on the WAHOVA page and the virtual expo page, you'll find them, and they've got a video that talks about their different tables that are able to be located outside. That's their specialty. So you guys have a great day, and thank you.